Bronwyn, hello. Billington, what's up? How you been? What's up? Welcome to the
Hey,
show. Hello.
how are you today?
I'm happy to hang out with you today. This is
Me too.
going to be kind of different, and I'm glad that you paid me with the currency of your effort and your attention. It's so very important to me. So the fact that you're here with me right now is just really super cool, and I hope for at the end of it, if zero comes out of it, that's like serving the brand or whatever. At
Yeah,
least you had a good time and like you made a friend or something.
absolutely. That's what it's all about.
We have the commonality of not just pro wrestling, but Philly. And
Yeah.
you have a shirt on that says you're big in Philly, so we have a little bit of the commonality there on that end. Um, so what just off the bat, just your gut, what your gut's telling you. What's like the expectations that you have of doing this, having this conversation, doing this show? What kind of stuff do you have popping through your head?
Gosh, I've been traveling more to Philadelphia, so it's all about networking and meeting people, like you said, even if it's just at the end. I made a new friend. I already
Yeah,
feel that I've benefited. So I so appreciate you for having me. And I know it took us a while to get here, but I'm happy to finally be here.
yeah, cool. So, um, here's a weird question. I'll ask you it before I ask anything else. This is something I frequently ask to guests that I have on the show. Um,
Okay.
with all of the media that you've done and all of the podcasts that you've been guests on, all the shows that you've done, all the interviews that you've been asked all these questions, what's a question that no one has ever asked you that you had wished someone had asked you?
Um, I'm not too sure which one question, but maybe just something more out of the box, something that they're curious about. Um, I get asked very generic,
Yeah, I'm
how did
imagining.
you get into wrestling? What are your first memories of wrestling? Like anyone can Google those answers. So it's nice when they actually think of their own unique style of, hey, why do you like that band? Or why do you
I
like Hippie or
full
something?
full ass relate. I all the way hard relate to that. Like that was part of the reason why I wanted to kind of start this thing, because
Yeah.
like there's been so many times where I've been asked to be guests on things and they're like, tell us your favorite match, tell us your
Yeah.
favorite memory, tell us you the most like I'm like you can find out that you can listen to any podcast that I've been on and hear this story told 1,000 other times in a
Yeah.
different way or whatever, but it all boils down to your question's not interesting. And not just that, but like you get the people who ask you the question and then stop looking at you and stop paying attention to what you're saying when you're answering, or they're looking down at their phone.
Question.
Right. They're just distracted and waiting for you to fill the time in for them to insert, oh yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, cool. Like it's just so it's so
Yeah.
like it's an insult of your intelligence and the time that you're really pouring into sort of trying to make this, you're pulling teeth to make this thing interesting so that you can do the networking thing and so you can do the having fun with somebody or kind of making a friend or like being vulnerable with somebody, because really this isn't something everybody does every day. So like it sometimes takes people a little while to kind of put their walls down and kind of be themselves and like you know in wrestling, the whole finding your voice thing, they do that in comedy, finding your voice, finding your identity in what you're doing, because it's like you you
Very much.
probably you probably have so much the lead in where people are just asking the very like elementary questions that you'd ask some, you know what I mean, like and it also would combine with their nervousness. You know what I mean? Their anxiety would then be thrust upon you, and maybe a whole uncomfortable situation.
I mean, I'm still appreciative, and I don't want to knock anyone because that's not my style. But a little more unique is nice. People that have their own flair to what they're doing.
My intention isn't to knock anybody. It's just there's nobody else who's me, and there's nobody else who's you.
I can
So
already
why
tell
don't
they're
we have a conversation that nobody else would have, that are you and I?
How is Philadelphia today?
Um, I I live in Delco, so that's like 20
Okay.
minutes from Center City. I work in Center City, so I'm there every day. But Mondays and Tuesdays are my day off, so I got to do nothing. Well, like
Ah,
I went to the gym, and then I came back, and that's all I've done.
super hot there today?
Yes, yes, very
Yeah.
hot,
Yeah.
very hot. And I mean, I did some yard work and some chores and things, but not like I was going crazy in the city. But I work in the city, and the city is can be risky and scary and weird and
Yeah.
bizarre. Uh, Man, I had to deal with some real weirdos on a daily basis recently, more
Oh,
than normal. Yes, like the summertime.
there.
What's up?
Sorry, I cut you off there. I said, where you live now, are you from there originally?
No, no, no. I'm from Northeast Philly originally,
Okay.
and then I spent most of my life in what's called Bucks County. It's also like the suburbs closer to like Trenton, New Jersey, or, like in that area of Philly. We still consider it Philly, but everybody who's from Philly goes, "Yeah, that's not really Philly." Like,
Yeah.
'cause everyone's got their own persnickety opinions about what really is Philly. Um, but I still watched all the local Philly channels. I mean, like that. I Not only that, Channel 48 was the channel ECW was on. ECW was all Philly, and I just watched the hell out of that. And then later on, when I debuted on TV and wrestling, I was on Channel 48 for Fake UTV back in the day for CZW.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So what's more Philly than that? Suck a butt.
Yeah. You're hilarious.
So what made you nuts about Philly? Was it what the Phillies? Was it watching the Philadelphia Phillies?
Sorry, what did you ask me?
What made you nuts about Philly? What made you
Oh,
decide that you were big in Philly?
yeah, I came this time last year in July. It was my first time out there, and I came for Battleground Championship Wrestling.
Mhm.
And it was really just that historic venue. We were at the 2300 Arena, and all the fans were so welcoming, and they were just like, so respectful of my father, and took the time to come talk to me and tell me how they would drive from New York to Philadelphia to see him, or whatever it was. They're like, I can remember seeing him on TV, and like everyone was so amazing and kind, and I really fell in love with the fans. And
Okay.
then I came back again this past July, and same thing times 10. And then I started watching baseball, and now I'm a big Phillies girl, so I hope to come in October and watch some baseball.
Well, I I thought, what was it Darren, what was the foundation,
Yeah.
was it Lenny Dystra? Is that what it was? Or who was
Oh
the
my
the player that was a part of the foundation?
God,
The
Darren, why am I drawing a blank on his last name? You're gonna have to edit this part. My look. Literally, I can't remember right now. It's been a long day.
Darren Dalton, right?
There it is. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I watched Phillies games.
Yeah.
I watched Phillies games with my grandmom on the channel that was only in Philly for Phillies fans called Prism when I was a little kid, and I used to see Darren Dalton. Like, I would watch Darren Dalton play, and I was not as much of a huge of a baseball fan as my grandmother was, but my
Yeah.
great grandfather, my grandma's dad, he was an usher for the Philadelphia A's, which was like they were the Athletics before they were the Phillies. And then she used to go. My grandmother would go and sit on the dugout, and she was like a bat girl or something when she was a little girl. So
So
I
cool. Love that.
so take that one more time, suck a butt, Philadelphia snobs.
Well, yeah. So I kind of reached out. Actually, someone reached out to me on Twitter or X. I hate calling it X,
Yeah,
but because I've
it sounds like an edit. Like it sounds like a
like it sounds like
it,
porno or something.
right. It sounds inappropriate.
Yeah. So they reached out. So I've been tweeting a lot about Philadelphia in general and then the Phillies. And so someone reached out to me that works for the foundation and they were like, we had a meeting and then he put me in touch with the president of the Darren Dalton Foundation. And so I just started working with them, just kind of sharing everything on social media and we'll see where it goes. But I'm very, very excited about it and happy to be working for such a great foundation and in Philadelphia. So hopefully I'll be able to come out there more and do more things and branch out. I would love to branch out into more charity work with uh, families dealing with people with brain injuries. So like wrestlers, athletes, doesn't have to be
You,
just be wrestlers.
you wanna talk more about brain injuries
We can.
because I had just my last episode of my podcast. I had a woman on who who had a brain injury, and she was an advocate for brain injuries, for what was that the T I'm gonna I'm
CT.
no, not CTE. No, it was some magnetic therapy that that people were. She had a brain injury, having had that, so she went
Wow.
through like her insurance and through the doctor, and like they were doing that to her, and she was like losing her will to do things because her brain was being injured, and they were like, "Oh yeah, like you're just." You're just getting used to it. You got to just keep doing it, and she just kept doing it, and it was injuring her brain more. And and
Wow.
and that
It sounds
and
like
that
I'm talking about. So it was for her brain injury and then it caused her brain injury to be worse.
Yeah, no, it was just like a therapy sort of thing. It
Yeah.
wasn't for an injury. It just caused an injury. It
Okay.
was like sort of like a you know like a grounding thing, sort of like a meditation, sort of like a depression therapy, and or in some way counseling. Uh, for I mean, some people are advocates of that still because sometimes it works for some people, and sometimes it injures people. So it was a confusing thing. But I was having conversations with her because I am also a brain surgery survivor. I had a brain surgery back in 2011. So the day we were talking was August 4th, which was the 14-year anniversary of my grand mal seizure that required me to have my craniotomy, which is you know a whole other thing. Like so, as much as you were talking about brain surgery or brain injury survivors and like wanting to benefit them, count me in.
Yeah.
Count, especially if you're coming here because
Yes. So yeah, that's something I
you're
hope
in my
to incorporate. I haven't talked to them about it yet, but like that's my mom and I's goal is, just raising awareness for families that need support with dealing with a family member that has CTE, like so similar with what we went through with my
Mhm,
father.
right. It's traumatic brain injuries, TBIs. That that I I I was I was just saying like how the early 2000s in pro wrestling for me um, were just filled with we didn't know anything about
Worse. Yeah.
head injuries, concussions, any of that. And I remember now looking back on the early 2000s in like say like 2002 to like 2006 in that era being like always confused. After I got back from a match, I forgot completely like how much of the match even happened. I would be like, "Oh, I'm sitting back here. Okay, the match happened." Like,
Yeah.
oh well, I like be taking my tape off, and I'd be like, "Well, I guess I'm finished."
Yeah.
Like, so like there was a lot of shaking that stuff off, and
And no one knew,
completely
or no one was
didn't
aware.
even know. And it was like, "Well, you just walk it off. It'll be fine. Just walk." And the very frequent, it's embarrassing to say this, the very frequent mindset towards it was, don't be a bitch. Don't be a
Yeah.
bitch. You'll be fine. Don't be a bitch.
Yeah.
I said that to my friend today because I asked him to come to work out with me, and he said he got a sunburn. And I was like, yeah, I got a sunburn too, but I'm not as much of a bitch as you are.
I mean,
We're,
that Philly
we're,
sound like. Well, you're not in Philly, but close enough.
we're jerks, us wrestling folk, but in a loving way. If you can't call your friends a bitch for not going to the gym, what is life?
Someone's got to be honest.
So you have you have one child, is that correct?
I have 2 daughters.
Two daughters.
Yes, just the 17-year-old doesn't really let me post her. So I'm always like, take a picture of me. Like, it looks like I don't love you, or it looks like I don't have 2 daughters. And there's a prime example.
Well, like
Yeah,
yeah, that's like Ozzy. Like he had the one
totally.
daughter that was like didn't want to be involved with the Osbournes, and
Wasn't
like she
there
was a
another
little.
son too, or like 2 older ones?
I don't. I'm
And
not.
then,
I don't. I never knew. I never knew. I didn't have like all of the Ozzy trivia down.
right. Yeah, so I have a 17-year-old and a 6-year-old.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you also have a dog, or you're just a bulldog lover because
I have
of
3
Billingsley?
cats, but my youngest sister lives with me. She has a dog. So I
Oh,
kind of have a dog now. I'm kind of a dog person
it,
now.
yeah. I mean, vicariously, you have a dog. I mean, it
I mean, I've
counts,
I've always wanted a dog. Of course, it started off as I want a bulldog, and I
right?
was gonna. So I got my first cat. He's orange. His name is Tiger. So he's
Hmm.
Tiger Mask, and then I was gonna get a bulldog and
Hmm.
name him Dynamite.
Hmm.
But I never got the dog because then the cats are so much easier. You can leave town still, and people just come to feed them. Like you don't need someone watching them overnight, and
Hmm.
so I never did commit to the dog because I think I travel too much. But when I'm older, I would like a dog. When I'm more like a
Yeah,
homebody.
yeah. I get you. I understand that. I, I, for the last 8 9 years, I didn't have a dog, and I grew up with a dog, so I always loved dogs. I always wanted a dog, and then I guess I moved here
Yeah.
1 year ago, and Alyssa had a dog, so now we have a dog, and I
Well, and a dog.
couldn't. He's a Pomeranian Husky mix. He's
Oh, that's cute.
A Pomsky. He
Yeah.
looks like a little black fox.
Yeah.
He's great.
Adorable. But no, I would get a wiener dog now. I mean, bulldogs are too. I mean, they're cute, but a little too
They're very
slobbery.
they're very they're like every minute's like a asthma attack.
Yeah. Well, my sister has a half pug, half Shih Tzu, so she's kind of got the breathing issues too.
Hmm. Yeah.
But she's cute. I got this guy here. He's on every podcast of mine. Oh,
Oh, that's a fat cat.
it's Chester. Yes, he's obsessed with me, so he's always
Ob-
right
ob-
next to me.
Obsessed her.
Yeah. Whenever I'm in here, he'll scratch at the door. He's like, "Let me in." So I
That's
let him
rad.
in.
All right. Well, I mean, what's funny is you can make clips out of your of hanging out with your cat, and that gets more views than the stuff that you put a lot of thought and a lot of time and a lot of effort into. But
Handsome
like
cat.
once you put a cat in the thing, it gets all the views. The algorithms go, "Oh, you okay? You want to throw your pets in this?" Everybody loves to look at a pet, and then it gets all the massive views. Uh,
Yeah.
we're just you
I
know.
recently saw they were looking for like calendar cats, and I'm like, I
Mhm.
think I need to enroll him because he's very handsome.
Yeah, he
He
looks
wins.
like a professionally good looking cat.
He
Like the
does.
Derek Zoolander of cats.
Well, first of all, we don't have to cut his fur. Like he doesn't mat at all.
Hmm.
He cost me $25 and we got him like in the ghetto of Calgary. So he's this like very handsome show cat, but we got him in the ghetto.
That's so
The
funny.
ghetto. The ghetto. It's like nothing compared to Philly, but
Well, I mean, like, it's a good thing you put up the little quotation fingers. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known that you were calling it a ghetto.
uh,
So, what's your favorite comedy movie?
comedy. Well, one of my favorite. I don't know if it's really a comedy, but Crybaby.
Okay,
It's like it's a
I know what
musical, but
I know exactly what it is.
I'm saying it's a comedy because that's I don't know. That's probably funny to some people.
There are so many hatchet faced people that I've met in life. It's
Yeah,
wasn't that the lady's name with
yeah,
the funny looking face,
yeah.
hatchet
Hatchet.
face?
Crybaby in that movie. Oh, Johnny Depp.
Mm, yeah, what a
So
stud,
handsome.
what a hunk.
But anything else, I'm like, no. It's like only Crybaby for me.
Um, I liked him in a couple things. I thought he was. I liked Blow a lot. I thought that was a pretty good movie. I thought
Oh, I love Dazed and Confused. Is that a comedy? I can't think if that's a comedy.
it seems like a comedy. Is Hunter S. Thompson the yeah?
That's a
It's a very funny movie. I don't know if it's supposed to be funny, but it is very funny. And
oh Half Baked. There we go. Half Baked. That's a
Half
good one.
Baked, yeah, that's a comedy movie, I guess. Yeah, that was very
Apparently,
early.
I like to laugh. I just watch drug movies and music, drugs.
You know what's coming back. They're making a new season, and I'm really excited. Is Beavis and Butthead is coming back.
Were they?
Uh huh.
Wow.
There's the bro. Getting stoned and watching Beavis and Butthead is America's favorite pastime.
I
Well,
definitely did.
America is me in this scenario.
I have their hoodie. I have a hoodie. I found it. Well, Winners. You guys don't have Winners there, but it's like a Marshalls. And it was a pullover hoodie with Beavis and Butthead. I'm like, yeah, I need that. So I own that. I grew up with
when
that.
you
Junior high.
when
Well,
you
we're the same age in junior high in the summers, staying up till 2 in the morning or whatever, and that would be on TV. Ren and Stimpy.
yeah, I think that era of cartoons sometimes gives me a headache to think about. Like to like go to go back and think about like the flashing lights. Maybe that was a brain thing too, and I didn't even know about it. But all the
Oh, yeah.
flashing lights, that's why I never got into anime. Like mostly, never got into anime. But I'm super into Rick and Morty. But I couldn't watch the Rick and Morty anime that they made because it would make me kind of dizzy.
That's fair.
Do you like Rick and Morty?
I've never watched it.
No, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna challenge you to watch some Rick and Morty, and then we'll discuss it later on.
I'm just like I'm at this point in my life. I don't watch anything.
Oh
Just
yeah,
so busy. Yeah,
so busy.
so busy. Yeah,
Show busy.
yeah. Because I work in the day, and then I usually have to go to the gym at night. I'm a mom as well, so it's just like there's no time
Yeah,
for TV.
I mean, you can watch Rick and Morty with your 4-year-old. I mean, they bleep the curse words.
Okay, give it a go.
Yeah, give it a go. I I have the I have a small obsession with Rick and Morty, and not as much so anymore. But like I had, and I still have it on my Roku. I had the Adult Swim app, and I would put it on Rick and Morty like marathon through, and just keep that on my TV 24 hours, and I never would like turn it off. It was always on.
Just nice background.
It was a good white noise in the background, and then it got me very knowledgeable about Rick and Morty.
The only thing I'm watching lately is baseball, so there's that.
Oh
But
yeah.
usually it's on when I'm at the gym, so I'm like I have it on my phone. but it kind of sucks because then the baseball will take over the music in my headphones. So it's
Okay.
hard to work out listening to like, you know, casual baseball.
Do you listen to any podcasts?
No, I don't.
You don't listen to any podcasts or consume any like television product of wrestling?
I mean, I used to. This is more recent that I've just like totally stopped watching everything.
Dude, it's
But for wrestling,
everything
as far as wrestling goes,
everything's
I've been watching more old school wrestling than anything.
mhm,
Yeah,
yeah.
now that it's all on Netflix. Yeah.
Well, they have it all on Netflix on your Netflix, but in the states, it's not all on Netflix. It's like just Raw on Netflix. Uh, but everything else, like, and it's just the current day Raw, so it's not like every uh, archived Raw is on Netflix. Like you, with America, they're like pricing out the wrestling fans with going like, oh well, now you got to pay for this subscription and this app, and you got to have this app and that app and this app
Well, that
to
makes sense.
consume what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I get not watching it as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
And I was following AEW a lot, and we were watching every Wednesday since it started, but then it kind of just went and I stopped watching. And then, you can just tune in here and there, and I'll usually watch like the pay-per-views, and then it's like I already know who everyone is, nothing, I haven't missed anything. You can always just catch back up with the pay-per-views, I find.
my opinion of AEW, and tell me if you share this opinion. I I want to like it so much more than I do. I really want it to exist and I want it to succeed. I feel like the way that WWE is overproduced, AEW is underproduced. Like they care too much what their weird fan base thinks about everything, and that like the way that like Meltzer affected the booking for pro wrestling in all of the 90s and the 2000s. The fans are dictating the way the wrestling goes, and like the fans are like in the like it's funny that it's called elite, but it's like we want to be inclusive, we want to include everybody. How come your name's elite if you want to include everybody? That
Yeah.
seems to be counterproductive.
Yeah, I did. I really liked it at first, when it first started. And I liked how they had all their own stars, is how it felt.
Mm-hmm.
And then slowly, as every time there's a big name getting released from WWE, it just kind of takes away from all the work that everyone that's been in AEW the whole time has worked
Mm-hmm.
hard for. So that's just kind of what I saw happening. And then the storyline just got cheesier and cheesier,
Well, that feels like
and
a very
then
WCW.
you would just expect who was going to show up after they were released. Like you would know, but then they
Mm-hmm.
steal someone else's spot, which isn't fair. I just
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But I still, if it's in town, I've gone twice here in Calgary, and I went on the cruise twice, and
Oh, cool.
I still enjoy lots of workers, and like I like wrestling. I enjoy wrestling, so I'll still check it
Right.
out. Yeah,
I was it the Jericho cruise that you went on twice?
yeah,
I have a couple friends who've gone on those cruises. They seem like a blast.
yeah, yeah. They're
They,
quite a part. I have a poster up there. I don't know if you can see it. Ooh. Oh,
oh,
there it is, right. Oh, the corner. There it is.
it's all the way up there. Yeah. That's awesome. I Dude, I've been on cruises, but not wrestling cruises. I would it would be like a kind of like a huge mesh of two worlds and a whole like every
Well,
time I've been on a cruise, I've been like, oh, look at these performers. I wish I could be performing here, but what I'm good at performing, cruise ships don't want to see. Oh, wait.
you're
Now,
wrong.
now it exists where the thing I know I'm good at exists on a cruise ship too. Hmm.
Yeah. And
Cool.
it's music too. So it's the Rock and Wrestling Rager. So it's all,
Yeah. Rad.
that's when I first went. Like, I love rock and roll and live music and then wrestling. So I'm like, this is like made for me. So the first time we went, we had a blast. And we're like, we have to go again. And then the second time was like, it was fun, but like I was more over the wrestling to get a seat to like actually sit and watch the wrestling. You have to sit there all day to like save your seat. And that's not my style. I'm not going to sit there all day.
Mhm. So
So you,
you didn't manage any matches or anything? You
no,
didn't
no,
perform in the show?
no, I didn't.
What
No,
the
my
frick?
cousin, yeah, my cousin from Billington did the last one that we were just on.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so usually I'd be standing for the wrestling, and then there's always like a post in the way because that's just the only place to stand if you didn't
Mhm.
wait all day. So I'll
Mhm.
sit there for a while, and it gets really windy, and then I'm like, okay, I'm over this now. Like it's fun, but like unless you're sitting there all day to see, because there's only like one row of chairs.
You know what? An idea I came up with recently for that, and I was thinking like there's like there's like these stops and these excursions on these islands, and I
Yeah,
was thinking like, what if they brought the pro wrestling shows to those islands? Like, so
that would be yeah,
it wasn't just the wrestling matches that happening on the cruise ship, but if then they broke down and set up a ring at each of these stops and had the locals join the wrestling fans and like sort of like make it a whole communal thing for everyone in the stops.
that would be amazing. Because the one day we got off in Dominican
Right.
for like the beach day, and that was the best day. So to imagine if there was wrestling there, that'd be amazing. And then yeah, or if it could be like a local spot where locals come, that would be fun.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember really liking I marked out for the Bash at the Beach thing back in the day in WCW. I always thought that was real cool
Yeah, with
looking.
the music too, right? Like music and then
When they yeah, and they did
wrestling.
they had the whole like Ric Flair on the beach and like Randy Savage on the beach, and they like made a Baywatch episode out of it or something. Like it was just like a cool crossover. It was such a cool time to be a wrestling fan back then.
Yeah, totally. See, that's one we've rewatched.
That's what you're rewatching.
I have. I did rewatch that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all on your Netflix.
I this that was before it came to Netflix. I don't know how we watched that, to be honest. Maybe
Or
just
it's
YouTube.
like Peacock or
Yeah.
something. That's so dude, the all the I love WCW. I don't know. I mean, I was a huge fan of I think the Monday Night Wars and the Attitude Era was what got me into pro wrestling. So like I
Yeah.
don't know a whole lot of stuff that's like pre 96. Like I'm because I think I discovered wrestling. My first match I saw that I was like, okay, I love this now was
Yeah.
Austin and Brett at WrestleMania. The I Quit match or the whatever it was submissions match or whatever. That was what like kind of hooked me at first, and then I like still was falling out. But I know in the back of my head, I was like, I'm gonna keep on watching this. But then I wasn't keeping track of like what day of the week it was. I was only
Yeah.
12.
Just
I wasn't
whenever it
keeping
was on.
track. Right. I never had my mind on the clock. I never looked at what day of the week it was. So then I watched the first Hell in a Cell, Shawn Michaels and Kane. When I mean Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. That was the debut of Kane when he broke the cage door down. Uh, that hooked me right away, and then I watched every week after that.
Nice.
And then I got into a ring and took my first bumps 2 years later. 1998 was my
Wow,
first
you're
time taking bumps. I was just a little tot.
yeah. See, I was kind of not watching at that time. It
Mm-hmm.
was I think like 99, 2000 when I got back into it.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I think that was like the Trish Stratus and Lita Hardy Boys. That's what
What
I was
was the
like.
thing that hooked you? What was the thing that like hooked you and got you right in?
I think it was the females for me. So my sister, she was younger than me, and she was watching, and I was like, "What are you watching?" Because it was like Trish and Lita,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, I knew what it was, but like, who are they? Because I hadn't
Mm-hmm.
watched for a while. I had a love hate relationship with wrestling growing up with my dad, and
Mhm.
him ending up in a wheelchair and injuries and stuff like that. So
Right. There's a
there's
lot of blame on the business. I'm imagining. I don't know the details. I don't know for sure, but I can imagine that there was a
growing up,
lot of bitterness
we're
towards
always at wrestling shows
industry.
growing
Yeah.
up. And then kind of junior high when I'm a teenager and I'd rather go hang out with my friends, I'm like, no, I have no interest in watching wrestling.
Mhm.
Until high school and I got back into it.
Right.
And it was Trish. And The Rock. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was all cool. I was also really into it, and at that point, I think do you have do you have a moment that sticks out that you can remember and being like, all right, I'm not gonna miss any more of it after this, because there's
I think
times.
I think it was like Monday Night Raw my sister was watching. And
Mhm.
so that's what I walked in on and she was watching. And so then every Monday we would watch together.
That's awesome.
And I
Like I
remember
was
around that time too, they came to Calgary. So then I bought this like huge Trish Stratus cardboard cutout and I had it in my room. And that
mhm.
was my workout inspo. Like, I want to look
Mhm.
like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I, I don't know. I don't know. I had a Trish Stratus poster in my room, but it was no inspo for me for working out for sure. It was just me
Oh, I
wanting to
also had the rock above my
have a
bed.
baby.
So I was like,
What's that?
I had the rock above my bed. So I was like,
Oh,
okay,
cool.
this is the man I'm going to marry.
I
And
got
then
the
this
rock
is
on
what
my
it's going to look like. Yeah. I've never met him.
shirt. No, me either. Well, actually, he was doing a signing at at what's now called the Philadelphia Mills Mall. It was called Franklin Mills Mall back in '96 or something. And my friends and I went and stood in line and and got his autograph. I think so. Like we met him for a split second. I mean, that's not meeting somebody. That's like a meet and greet. That's like a sort of a signing.
I mean, I
Signing.
met Marilyn Manson for 1 minute. That counts.
Oh yeah, sure, sure it counts. Sure it counts. It fully counts. I
I
mean,
mean,
what was I? What was I thinking saying that doesn't count?
yeah. It's fully worth the $700.
Oh wow, that's that's something
Yeah. Canadian.
Canadian.
That'd be less than American, I think.
Yeah,
No, it's
yeah,
more. No, it's more.
is it? Well, like even like when you look at on like certain books, like the it says the price of it, and the Canadian price is always higher.
Ah, yeah.
A
Yes.
loony. Have you read any good books lately?
Yeah, this one. Oh, perfect timing to ask.
Oh man,
Dynamite and Davy, The
yeah,
Explosive Lives of the British Bulldogs, and
yeah.
the afterword was done by me.
What was done by you? The
The
forward?
afterword. The forward was done by Ross Hart, and the afterword was done by me.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, I had some of these in Philadelphia when I was there.
Oh, cool. What was the details? If you want to share any, I don't know how many details you have or are able to share about the whole movie and everything.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to jump
So
into that because like I'm really fascinated with the movie industry, and I've been a part of some documentaries in wrestling and a part of a couple of movies in the cinematic realm on things. And I just figured if your involvement, it ties us together even more. You and I, who have all these tick
yeah.
tick 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 ticks right that synchronize.
So yeah, they reached out. The movie producer reached out to me, and of course was like, "I'd love to make a movie on your dad." He had seen the Dark Side of the Ring episode. He actually was never really much of a wrestling fan. Didn't know much about my dad, but he saw the Dark Side of the Ring episode, and I don't know if you've seen it, but the part with my father and I, like basically reconnecting after 15 years of seeing each other.
I must
Um,
have missed that episode. I'm
that
sorry.
That's okay. That part there, he's like, that's what made me want to make this movie. Was like the
Mm-hmm.
part with me in it. And so of course he like sent me his, his website and his work and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, is this real? Because I've had lots of people say like, oh, I'm doing a screenplay, like, oh, this and that. But it's like, you could be a great writer and you're writing a screenplay, but like, do you really have a company? Do you really know how to make a movie? Like, have you made a movie? all those types of things. So started looking into it, and he's worked on in England, like I can't say what off the top of my head, but TV shows that people have heard of. And I, my mom has actually been writing her life story. She's writing a book because my mom's a teacher and an English major, and so she's been writing her story, which is absolutely fascinating, before even like meeting my dad and how they met and stuff like that. And my mom's sister married Bret Hart, so that's how my mom met my dad. So all that is in her story, and she started turning it into a screenplay. So I talked to my mom about the movie producer, and I was like, well, I think if we do this, like, we need to use your writing, like your screenplay, because you already have it all written up. And so I talked to the movie producers and let them know, and they were like, absolutely, like, we want you guys involved. We want it done right. So we wouldn't have it any other way. So my mom's actually part writer of the script.
Wow.
Yeah.
And your mom is sisters with Julie Hart?
Yes. Yeah. So
This
Julie
is
is my
fun.
godmother.
This is so funny because as we're talking about this, I'm having these little
Yeah.
stars pop in my head and going, "Oh yeah, I was involved with a documentary where the filmmaker was talking to Julie Hart about connecting with you." And I didn't even remember that it was you that they were talking about trying to connect with. And this was 12 years ago. I don't even remember too many details about any of that connection, but I know it's like we're full circle coming back. It's all so cyclical. Like pro
Totally.
wrestling and filmmaking, it all is all part of the evolving process for us.
Yeah. So we're kind of obviously at the, I guess, early stages, and I'm not familiar with like making movies and how the whole process goes. So to me, this is all new to me, but we're in like daily contact with the producers, and it's moving along nicely. We're excited. Hopefully,
So
we're hoping something will be ready in 2026.
that's
Will be the
that's
quickest. Yeah.
that's exciting. That's very cool. That's very
Yeah.
cool.
Definitely.
I hope it rocks. And the other part about it that is now we're connected. We have all these things that connect us. So I'll be able to kind of see the process, and I'll be able to watch like next
Yeah,
time you come to Philly, we'll probably see each other again. So it's like we'll keep on checking in on this thing, but I'm excited to see where it goes.
for sure. So my plan is I want to keep coming back to Philadelphia because that's where I chose to announce the movie to the world for the first time. I chose
Hmm.
to do that in front of the Philadelphia fans. So I want to keep coming back frequently and just like updating everyone what's going on and just promote that
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
start
that's.
doing more like conventions in the States and kind of in
I
that
mean,
area.
you were talking about that building, and I get chills from when I think about it. Like I've been going to that building for since 20 no, it was 2001 was the first time I was in that building. The first time I performed in that building was March 7th, 2003. So like I have been back and forth in that building since I was a kid. You know, I mean, it that was I was
It's
17,
legendary.
18 years old. So
I love it there. Absolutely love it.
it's a
All of
very
it,
cool.
I love it.
And even now seeing those fans, when I see them, they remember me. And it's like
Right.
I look completely different. I was a fully like skinny boy with a stupid haircut. I don't know how you know that that's me, but like you'll come up to me and be like, "Dude, I remember you from when you were a kid." And
Yeah.
somehow some of
Oh,
the
I get
stuff
that all the time too. Everyone's
somehow
always like,
some of
I've seen you since you were a little girl. And I was like, I don't remember you, but okay.
like
I get that
some of
all
the
the
most
even got it in Philadelphia.
right. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I mean, were you a part of were you a part of like the whole Hart family coming into the ring at the Stampede, the Calvary Stampede?
That one show I did not go in the ring, no. But
No,
yes, we were part of the
there
heart.
was a lot of little kids that got into the ring, so I was just wondering if you were one of them.
Our seats were like stupidly up high and everyone was down low. And
Mm-hmm.
we didn't get the memo.
Boo,
Yeah.
boo.
I'm like,
But
ouch.
But honestly, that pop was the biggest pop, one of the biggest pops in all of wrestling, the history of wrestling, and like it doesn't get talked about enough how big Bret Hart's pop at the Stampede was. Because
Wasn't that
Christ,
just a house? It was like a house show, right? Like in your house. That's what it's
yeah,
called.
yeah, yeah, yeah. When you said house show, I was like, how would I have seen it if it was a house show?
Oh, is it not in your house? Not a house show?
No, no, a house in your house was a pay per view. It was
Oh, oh, okay.
yeah, in your house was a special pay per view. So like they would like at the time they would discount the prices of the pay per views and just call them in your house because they would cut the amount of time that it would be. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't be like the standard WrestleMania length pay per view. It would just be a shorter pay per view and have a smaller price, and they would just call it in your house, and then give it like a
Yeah. I can picture the logo.
subtitle.
Yeah, I can picture the logo.
Hmm. Yeah, and like I think the first one they like gave a house away.
Nice. They should have given it to me.
They should have. They should have.
How rude. Have you been to Canada?
I have not. No, I've yet to be in Canada. It's always been something I've wanted to. I wanted to wrestle in Canada, like pretty
Calgary.
much my whole life, and
Yeah.
never have. Pretty much wanted to wrestle. I've never been to Canada. Um, I wrestled in upstate New York a bunch of times, but I've never wrestled in Canada before.
Okay. We're a little different than New York, but
Yeah. Uh, so um, I do this segment. I'll just do a couple more things. I'll ask you a couple more questions, and we'll have a little more of a chat. But like after all that, I'll just send you off into the sunset with a hot dog and a handshake. Um, so I do this thing where I call this segment audio time travel, right? So the next words that come out of your mouth are going to be heard by people in the future. Those people happen to be your daughters 20 years from now. So in 2045, they're going to stumble across this audio and listen to your timestamp from right here and right now that's going right into their ears. What are the things that you're going to tell them?
like just particularly to them.
Yeah.
Everything I do is for our family legacy. So it's for my father's legacy and for building my children's legacy. So everything that I'm working for, everything, the time it's taking away from them, it is for them and their future. And I just hope that, they're proud of me and my father's proud of me looking back at everything I've done for this family legacy. Yeah. I don't know what else to say.
I, I'd say I'm not a very emotional person. Like I'm really I'm a sensitive guy, but I'm not. I don't get emotional. I don't get very emotional. But when I do get emotional is when I do think about like my uncle passed away when I was 7 years old, and to me he was like my father figure, and when I think about how he'd feel about the man I turned into, that gets me emotional. So
Yeah.
like I think about you saying like you hope you make your dad proud. That made me automatically think about how I think about that for my uncle. And like I was named after him, and I was like I carry a part of that around with me, and I have like
Yeah.
I have this like John Wayne like
My
this like
dad left
wood
my,
I had this John Wayne woodwork thing. It's like this piece of art that my uncle Jimmy had it in his my uncle Jimmy had it in his dining room or in his living room on the mantle, and I was like, that thing will never not be in a house I live in. It's in my living room now, and it will never not
oh, I like
be in
that.
the house. So if you talk to Ash, if you talk like that was in when he lived with me, that was in our Ash, uh, Ash Samuels, Lee.
Yes. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
So when he lived with me, that was in our living room. That's always it's always going to be in my living room, no matter where I live. But that's
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
like everything I do, years, everything, they'll be like, they'll always give me 3 for my dad's children, but I always ask for extras for their grandchildren. So I'm like, they all need their own. Like, this isn't just ours. Like, this is theirs too. This is their grandfather. Like, this is their legacy too. So that's what I mean by everything I do. It's not just for me and my siblings. But also for like my dad's grandchildren. Okay. That he never got.
Look at that cat.
Yeah.
The
This
British
is
bull cat.
Chester Billington. He's very British.
Like Chester Bennington.
Yeah.
From Lincoln Park.
Mm-hmm. He was going to be. His name was going to be Cheeto, but he wasn't orange enough, so we changed it to Chester. Chester Cheeto.
Well, so it's not Tiger. Was that a different cat?
My older cat. He's now a bedroom cat. He's getting older and he hates the other cats, so he just stays in my room.
Typical. Tale as old as time.
Yeah. And then we have a 3-year-old cat too, but he's kicking it somewhere.
So I have a lot of stuff. I like to really more than anything, and I already talked to you about like this audio, this medium, this piece of content is sort of going to outlive us. It's going to go beyond right now, and the right now that the people are listening to this is a different right now than we're currently living in. I love that kind of stuff. I love thinking about that kind of stuff, and I like having things on the record. Like I've had a couple friends on this podcast who like are no longer with us, and I love listening back to those episodes and being like, I can't believe I got a chance to say on the record, this is why I like this platform. And I haven't told this story in a very long time. When I don't even know how to begin it, but I want to try.
Okay.
My mother had burnt this CD, and on the CD was voicemails left from her best friend who passed away and from her mother. And she said, you know how like when people die, you forget what their voice sounds like?
Yeah.
And I said, I don't want that ever for me. I want at any point for you to be able to go back and listen to me talk as my genuine self, as sincere as possible, and be vulnerable about my life and who I am. And like really when I'm on the record with these people, I'm having genuine conversations and telling them how much I appreciate their time and effort. Really, when I talk to you about the currency of your time and your effort, that means so much more to me than dollars and cents, because like you can't get that back. You can make money over again. You can lose money and make money all over again, but you'll never get back that time and that effort. So I appreciate that so much. And I, on top of that and on the record, would like to say how much I appreciate that and how much I'm looking forward to being a resource for you in any way. If like you're ever going on, if anything ever going on, and you think that like somehow I might be able to know some answer to something that you don't know, don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. If you ever feel like you don't have a friend, you got one. I'm here. So just reach out to me. You can call me anytime.
Thank you. I love your perspective. It's cool to think of it that way because, I mean, with my dad, I don't have any voice messages or anything like that. I don't really have much video footage of growing up, but what I have is promos that I can look back at and hear his voice. So I'm lucky that way, where a lot of people don't have that.
Right.
So
a whole lot of people don't have that.
Feel what you're saying and made me think differently. So thank you.
We have this platform, and like honestly, you could have one of these too. Like honestly, Bronwyn, like you have a perspective that nobody else has got. Nobody else has lived any day in your shoes, has seen life through your eyes. Like I'm at the point where like I'll have a conversation with anybody and be like, you should do this too. You absolutely should also do this too. Like there should be no future where you're not putting your voice out there and like having your perspective be something that guides people in the future. Because like even if people aren't discovering it today, like maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, who knows? Like if if you do this long enough, this is why. And forgive me for it's going to sound like I'm repeating the same stuff I say on every episode, but that's why I start every episode beating the drum. Because as long as you keep beating your drum, someone's eventually going to hear it and they're going to go, "What? You hear that?" And so like I'm gonna keep beating my drum. So like I take that drum to the ring with me, and it's part of my theme song. Like it's part of my participation with the fans because like this is sacred to me. Like pro wrestling is the closest thing that I've got to like organized religion in my life. I've lived the cult of pro wrestling since I was 14 years old. I've been involved in the wrestling business, and it's like not even a second thought for me to think about like, oh, I got to pay it forward. I got to pay dues. I got to do what I got to do so that the next generation is inspired to do it just the way the people who inspired me to do it did it.
Yeah.
So you
I
got
love
that
it.
too, is what I'm saying.
No, yeah, and you're absolutely right. It's something I have been toying with the idea of it, and yeah, it's gonna happen. You're inspiring me. Let's
Well,
go.
I'll help you. I'll help you. If you need help, you just call me. I'll give you all the information I have. It's not going to be the exact show because like we're different people.
That's
It's
right.
it's really funny. Like some of the things, and I've already told you a few of the things that like inspired me to start doing this. One of the things was one of my favorite podcasts that I listen to is this guy named Pete Holmes. He has a show called "You Made It Weird," and he's a comedian, and you know he was a comedian when he started the show, and he described to his agent that he wanted to start a podcast, and he described kind of the theme of it, which is similar to what I've borrowed and sort of what I use too. Uh, and his agent said, "Oh, that's kind of what like WTF with Mark Maron is," which is also like a super popular podcast. And he
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, but that's him, not me." And
Mhm.
and I look at it that way too. I'm like, "Yeah, nobody else is me. Not a single person has the experience that I've got in stand-up comedy and pro wrestling and movies and TV and podcasting. Like that's why I've got to continue to beat this drum because like somebody who is lacking inspiration can somehow find it in what I'm doing. So
Absolutely.
I'd like to be a motivational speaker as well.
Just add that to the list.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've done it. I've done a few of them.
Yeah.
It's not like something I'm a professional at. I'm not making money doing it, but I've gone to a couple homes and done speeches to kind of inspire people and done like Q&As. The funny thing is like when people find out I'm a wrestler and I say, "Okay, you ask me anything," they'll go, "Oh, what channel is WWF on?" Like they don't even like they want to like more talk to me about they want to talk to me more about the product of wrestling and not like me and what I'm doing,
Yeah.
which is okay. Which is okay too. That's all part of it.
But you're more than that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's okay. I mean, they'll come around.
Yeah.
There's this documentary. I'm a huge nerd for like stand up comedy documentaries. There's this documentary that I talk about all the time and I think about it all the time. Do you know who the comedian Sebastian Maniscalco is?
I don't, but I do love documentaries.
So they followed Sebastian Maniscalco. He's a huge podcaster now and a huge stand up comedian. Like he's well known. He packs arenas. Like he is well known. But when they made this documentary about him, he wasn't as well known. He was still working as a server at Olive Garden. So he would be like, "Oh, I love that I get to see my name up in lights on the weekends and then back on a name tag on Monday." And then like it had such pro wrestling to it. It had such like what we do and like what we are to it that it's like
Yeah.
it's crazy how
And
much all of that applies.
yeah, rock stars too. It's the same, you know. Well, maybe not famous ones. But. It's all similar entertainment.
Yeah, it's all branches of the same tree. It's planes on the same wing kind of thing. Planes, it's two wings on the same plane. I don't even know the phrase I was trying to quote there.
I
So
don't know either.
was there so going back to talking about everything being on the record, is there any questions or any comments or any phrases or advice that you'd like to ask me or talk to me or give me while we're on the record? Because this is still the very start of our friendship, which is, it's got potential. It's got potential, and I say potential is like an unlit match. It can just stay a piece of paper, or it could light the world on fire. So that's why I call myself the spark, because I'm the spark that sparks that potential. So, any questions or comments that you'd have for me, please share right now.
And we'll just have to spend some time together when I come to Philadelphia next. Like actually
Mm-hmm.
hang out, go for a bite to eat with some friends or whatever, and show me around Philadelphia more because I really haven't seen that much. I've seen, both times I came, I was only there for the weekend, so
Mm-hmm.
it was hotel venue. Like that was really all. A couple of
That's
the
exactly what I've
sightseeing.
been saying about Nashville. Like, I'm like, oh, I really want to
Yeah,
see Nashville. The only time I've ever been there has been like airport, motel, like airport, hotel venue.
love the Philadelphia airport because there's so much Phillies merch in there. I went a little crazy in there.
Well, the prices get marked way up at the airport. Everything's way more expensive at the airport.
Of course. But yeah, so and then once I actually, see around Philadelphia more and then I'll have more questions for you.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. Now, the other part of that is, let's say hypothetically, and this is kind of like towards the wrap up. Let's say hypothetically, I've gifted you this podcast. This show now belongs to you. It is the first episode, the very pilot episode of your new podcast, Evolving with the Dynamite Doll. What would be your Jerry Springer's final thought that would inspire people with the most valuable takeaways from this episode, inspire people to be the better version of themselves and to evolve to be, their best self? What would you say?
I think just to always stay true to yourself because that's very hard to do in the entertainment business. And be kind to yourself because it's very easy to, again, beat yourself up when you're trying to make it further in something. But always remember your vision and what the end goal is because that's when things get a little blurry is when you're not seeing that end goal and you're just surrounding yourself with the negativity. You have to stay focused and stay true to yourself, and it should be a lot easier.
Should be.
Should be.
Yeah,
And if it's
you
not,
keep.
well, I don't know. Smoke
Yeah,
a joint or
that's great. Yeah, it's great. You're not getting anybody's expectations to an unrealistic place, for sure.
yeah.
Like, it's not. It shouldn't be that hard to keep yourself humble and really
Yes,
grounded.
humble.
Humble.
Humble is like something my father was always very humble, and that is something that I pride myself to be as well. So it's just part of remembering who you are and staying true to yourself.
Yes. Yes. Do you do any impressions at all?
No, I don't.
No.
I do not.
No. Do you do a British accent?
No, I do terrible.
No.
Like I'm all
Normally, I'll have people like whatever their best impression is. A lot of people have done Donald Trump. A lot of people have done Mickey Mouse or Alf or whatever they're deciding to do. But
don't
in
know
their
any.
best in best impression, I always ask people to say the phrase, the phrase that we wrap the show up. We say, "Be fun, have safe, keep evolving." And if you have no impressions at all, just say it as you, and that's
Okay,
totally fine.
sorry, I suck. I don't know what's with me. I would try to do a British accent in England, and they're like, "You sound like." So yeah, no, we're not going there. I need acting lessons.
Hey, you're trying to get into the film industry, so acting lessons. Hey, acting coaches,
Yeah,
reach out. Her social media links are
yeah.
down there. Uh, reach
I'm
out.
UK producers, so you never know. Next time, I might have it just
Yeah, you're yeah.
flat.
The more you hang out with people
Yeah,
who talk like that, the more it'll rub off on you. I mean, your
yeah.
dad had that accent, so I mean, I
Mhm.
I don't know how much you picked up on. Dude, there was a kid that lived downstairs from us at our old apartment where the dad was Kenyan and was the kid was just learning English and he never
Yes.
been to Kenya. And the little kid came out and he went, "Thank goodness, Daddy." And he did the Kenyan accent exactly. And I think about it all the time. Thank goodness,
Oh,
Daddy. Look, the bus has not arrived.
yeah, I've seen that with kids as well. They'll pick up anything.
So,
My kid.
do you need a reminder? Do you need a refresh? Or do you remember
Yes,
what I
I
said?
do. Yeah, I need a reminder, please.
Be fun, have safe, keep evolving.
Be fun, have safe, and keep evolving. Okay. Oh,
With
oh,
enthusiasm.
I thought we were doing it together.
No, no, we're not doing it together. It's all
Anyhow,
you, bro.
okay. Be fun, have safe, and keep evolving.
Yes. Perfect. I appreciate you very much. Thanks for
I
hanging
appreciate.
out.
Yes,
Uh,
thank you.
anybody who's checking this podcast out, if this is their first time checking out the podcast, there are what is this number episode? There are 359 other episodes that you can check out for your viewing and listening pleasure. And I hope you hit the subscribe button, and I hope you like and interact with us, leave comments. Any of the stuff that we talked about on here that you've got comments on, drop it down below. Tell us what you think. If you exist, let us know you exist. Be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Be fun. Have safe. Keep evolving. Bye. Show's over.